Happy New Year everyone. Thank you for joining me for episode 15 of my L&S Crafts podcast. This channel I talk about my crafting experiences and projects I've been working on, things that I'm learning. Currently those things are knitting, crocheting and a little bit of cross stitch. I haven't really, well yeah, cross stitch is sewing, so a little bit of sewing I guess. So those of you that are joining me for the first time, thank you very much for joining me. I do hope that you'll find something of interest in this channel and that you'll stay with me. For those of you that are returning, thanks so much for coming back, and let's crack on. So just so you guys know, for those of you that are new, you can find me on the internet as L&S Crafts. I have a Ravelry group on Ravelry, which again is called L&S Crafts. So that's where I post information about challenges, cals, work, knit-alongs, make-alongs basically. So do check out that page if you want to get involved in knit-alongs or crochet-alongs or whatever I'm doing, alongs. So yeah, check out the Ravelry page for that. I currently have two challenges or cals going on. So the first one is my winter warmers cal, which is finishing on, I think it's the 1st of February I put. Let me just check. So the winter warmer cal basically is for you to show off any of your winter warmers, which are accessory size basically. So hats, scarves, mittens, shawls, that kind of thing. I don't want to see any jumpers or big items in that cal. That cal is strictly for smaller items only. And so let me see if I can pull up the information. Where is it? For the winter warmer cal, you can see the rules over on my Ravelry page, but the cal started on the 20th of October and it will run until the 28th of February. So do go over and check out the Ravelry group if you want to get involved in that. There are prizes. I've listed the prizes over there in that discussion page, so check that out if you want to get involved in that project. There's quite a lot of entries at the moment, which I'm really pleased about. So it's a lot of fun seeing all of these nice patterns and things that people are making. It's very inspiring. It's kind of given me ideas for things that I'd like to start making for this year. So yeah, I've taken a note of some of the patterns I've seen that I really like, so you might actually find something over there that you'd like to knit as well. So do check that out, the winter warmers cal, on my Ravelry group. I also have just recently started and I am co-hosting the Ready Set Go 2019 Cal Lao, which is a crochet along, knit along and loom along. This is a baby of the Pen Hooks and Needles channel, and they very kindly asked me if I wanted to co-host with them, and I said yes. I'm a newbie to co-hosting cals, so this is like going to be a learning experience for me, so do bear with me. But the rules again are over on the Ravelry group for the Ready Set Go. The cal starts on the 1st of January, which is today, and it will run until the 31st of March. So get on over there to the Ravelry group, check out the rules, which I've put in the chatter thread, and have some fun. Let's have some fun with this. It only runs until the 31st of March, so you've got 3 months to get going on this, and these are for new things only. So this doesn't include any previous whips. It all has to be stuff that you have started on or after the 1st of January. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as you have started on or after the 1st of January. So check out the rules in the chatter thread, which is in my Ravelry group. And also you can go and check out the Pen Hook and Needles Ravelry group as well, where they have the same thing. The rules in each group are slightly different. So on my page the rules are slightly different to the Pen Hook and Needles channel. They're a little bit more gracious as to January. I think for the month of January they're accepting frogged projects. I'm not quite sure how all of that will work for me, so I've decided not to do the frogged element, but essentially most of my rules are the same as theirs. but do read through the rules before you enter the Cow Cow Lao. Okay, read through the rules before you go and enter. It should be a lot of fun. And I have opened a chatter thread and chatter and whip thread, so you can put your whips in there, and also a FO thread, so you can put your finished objects in there, so we can all go ooh and ah, isn't that lovely, you know, over all your finished things. So yeah, that should be a lot of fun. That is starting today, so get on over there and start entering. If you want to donate prizes, then, you know, feel free, PM me on Ravelry and we can work something out. But yeah, I don't know what the prizes are going to be otherwise at the moment. I haven't yet decided. It's a work in progress, so watch this space. So that's it. That is the alongs that I have going on at the moment in my group. Like I said, do check out the Pen Hook and Needles channel. They have other things that they other make alongs in their group as well, if you're interested in entering more than one. I'm quite happy for you to, what do you call it? I think you call it double dipping. I'm quite happy for you to enter into my make-alongs and enter in other people's make-alongs. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. Go for it, have fun with it, do what you like. So yeah, I think that's it. Those are the make-alongs that I know of that I'm involved in. Let's move on to finished objects. So my first finished object is the ribbed hat, and that was I used an opal yarn. I'll post a picture, let's see, up here, put a picture of it up there. I completely forgot that I have the hat. So this is the ribbed hat that I worked on. This is the bankhead. It started out as a bankhead hat, and then I decided I didn't want it to be particularly bankhead. I wanted it to just be a ribbed hat, so I've done that. This is a smaller size because I've made it for a child, so I've used 120 stitches. If you want information, do check out my project page. If you want more information than I'm giving you in the video, check out the project page on Ravelry, and that has as much information as I could muster to put up there. So do check that out. So the yarn I've used is Opal Zwergergarn Opal Style yarn, and it's in the colour Unglaublich. I'm not sure I pronounced that correctly, but that's the colour. It's a lovely blue, bluey black kind of, or blue grey colourway. Looks really nice. I've done a, what did I do here? 2x2 rib at the bottom, and then I've just gone into the rib pattern there, and I've used the bankhead pattern for the decreases, which look like that. And this is child size. It's hopefully, it's for like a 3-year-old, so hopefully it'll fit him. And this is going to be sent at some point once I've done a few more items. So that was that one. That's my first first FO. My next one was the toe up scrappy socks. These have been gifted to my son. I'll insert a picture up here so you can, oh, my thingy's dropped, hasn't it? Oops. I'll insert a picture up there so you can see the toe up scrappy socks. I used the Sockmatician's toe up recipe for these socks, and basically I've used a number of different types of yarn because I wanted to use up all the little scraps that I had. So I've used a Bird Street yarn in the colour Filbert. These are all superwash merino / nylon base, and not really sure there's a lot to say about these, except I used a Turkish cast on using 10 stitches to start. If you want more information, check out my page on Ravelry. So that was my next finished object. And I think my son, they were gifted to my son. He's worn them once. I haven't actually seen him wearing them. I keep nagging him to wear them because I'd like to see. I love to see when someone is wearing my knits. It makes me feel, it gives me a sense of pride, you know. So I really like to see when someone is wearing something that I knit. So yeah, I keep nagging him to wear them, but he's just not, he's not biting into it, because I think they're Christmassy type socks. He's kind of reserved them for Christmas, so he's worn them for one day and then I haven't seen them since. I didn't even see him wearing them the first time. Anyway, never mind, let's move on. Next thing I finished up is a skyping beanie. So this is the first time I've done the skyping beanie. I liked the look of the pattern, and while I was knitting it I started to think to myself, this is really familiar. and let me see, it was a really familiar knit. This one, okay, so that's the single one. I'm looking at my Ravelry page at the moment because, oops, I've lost it now. I've done more than one, but I haven't taken pictures of all of them. So I've done 1, 2, 3. I've worked 3 Skyping beanies. I've only got one of them to show you, but I can insert a picture of the ones that I've, well, one of the ones that I did, the other one. So let me show you the one I do have. This is the Skyping beanie, but what I've done, instead of doing, the pattern is a free pattern on Ravelry, and instead of doing 1 knit, 1 purl, I've done 2 knits, 2 purls, because I'd already made one that was the 1 knit, 1 purl version, and that one has been gifted as a Christmas gift, and I wanted to make another one out of the same colour yarn, but I wanted them to be noticeably different, so I've kind of just varied the stitch slightly. So I'm calling this on Ravelry my Skyping beanie varied, because I've done knit 2 purl 2 instead of knit 1 purl 1 as per the pattern. The decreases are slightly different because I had to kind of think a little bit for the pattern for the decreases, so they don't look as per the original Skyping beanie, which is a lot better than this one. I didn't really think hard enough when I was doing the pattern what it would look like on the actual crown, so never mind. So I've done 2 Skyping beanies in this colourway. One of them has been gifted away already, and this is the other one. I think I was going to send this away as a gift, and that's why I still have it. This is going to go with the blue one as a gift. So yeah, so that's that. The yarn is, I keep going to a shop called B&M in the UK, and they have the yarn for £2.99, and it comes in a nice size. It comes in a size like this, and it's the winter collection Sparkle, and this is what it looks like, only it's green. So I wasn't sure when I picked up the yarn what weight it was, because it looks like double knit, but when I started knitting it up it felt like it was more chunky, and it says to use needle size 4 to 5mm, so I was thinking it's kind of like it's meant to be double knit, but it feels more like a chunky, so I think I used a bigger needle for that. I haven't actually noted my needle size. I think I used a 4 for the rib and then a 5 for the main body of the hat on this, and it's come up like this because it's quite a robust kind of fabric. And it's really warm, so yeah, so that is that. It doesn't have a colour name. It's K, well, 411 green, that's the colourway, 411 green, and yeah, that's it. It's got, I'm not sure if you can see the sparkle. Can you see the sparkle? Hopefully you can see the sparkle. Maybe if I hold it back, I'm not seeing the sparkle, but hopefully you can see it. It's got lovely kind of green sparkle to it. It's a really nice yarn, very girly. So anyway, so yeah, so that's my next one. That was my second finished object. I'll try and insert a picture of the other green one that I did, which is the Skyping beanie as per the pattern. This one was the variation. The one I've been putting up here is as per the pattern. So you should see that. It's a free pattern on Ravelry by Haldora J. So yeah, do check that out if you're interested. What I noticed about the pattern was it seems very similar to the Graham hat, and I'm not sure, I can't remember who that's by, but I worked on a hat, the Graham hat. Let me see if I can find it. Graham. Nope, I'm not going to find that, am I? Just a second. Talk amongst yourselves. Right, Graham hat by Jennifer Adams. So, let me see if I can show you that. That's what the Graham hat by Jennifer Adams looks like. and if you turn it inside out, it becomes the Skyping beanie. It looks like this one, but with the single rib. So that's the, I think that's right, yeah, that's what it looks like on the inside. And if you do it one by one rib, then that's what the Graham hat looks like by Jennifer Adams. Turn it that way and it becomes the Skyping beanie. That's what I found. So I thought that was an interesting little twist to discover. So yeah, and that I like both hats. I like it. I like both sides of the hat. So you know, you may too. Where am I now? So those are 1, 2, 3. I made 3 Skyping beanies. I made some Christmas trees that I found. I buy the Simply Knitting magazine, and I had in there a little sample kit that they give you to make. They make a decoration, and I made these Christmas trees. Hopefully you'll see that. I made those and I've put them on the tree, so they're on my tree downstairs, and my daughter loves them, and they came out pretty well. I was pretty chuffed with them. I didn't enjoy sewing on all those little buttons, but never mind. It was fun to add to my Christmas tree. What else have I made? And I made a red sparkle hat, which again I have gifted. And the hat, did I use a pattern? I don't even think I used a pattern. My daughter, actually. I'm saying I made it. My daughter did it. So what I did, I've used the brim of my biscuit hat pattern. I've used the rim. What do you call this now? This section, the rim of the hat, is the rim that I used for my biscuit hat pattern. Then I have just given it to my daughter, and she's worked in the round and just done pure stocking stitch until she got really fed up of doing it. She's only 11, so she got a little bit tired of doing it, and so when she gave up, then I finished off the hat and did all the decreases. So the yarn I used for that, this is the hat. Let me see if I can show you that. Let me expand it. This is the hat that we made together as a team, and she's pretty pleased with that. Just a plain stocking stitch hat. It's been gifted to my aunt, and the yarn that we used is this beautiful, I think it's King Cole. Let me check. Oh no, I haven't got it on there. It's a King Cole yarn that we bought on our local market stall. It's got sparkle in it, very similar to this one, but this is by King Cole. This is double knit, and it knit up really nicely. Didn't knit up as fluffy and chunky as this one, so this is a chunky yarn, I think, and this is more on the double weight side, but I've still got this amount left, so I'm thinking I may do another hat. Maybe I'll do the biscuit hat with this one. For those of you that don't know, the biscuit hat is my own design that I recently published in December, so do check it out if you're interested in a new hat pattern. So that's it there. Yeah, you can see the sparkle in this one, and it's such a pretty yarn, and it feels lovely and soft too. I think it's acrylic, but I still love it, and I've still got a lot left, so I think I might just knit a hat with that. So those are the finished objects I have to show you. I haven't really finished anything else. I've got a couple of big projects, so let's move on to works in progress. My first work in progress I have to show you is the memory blanket. It was up there a minute ago at the beginning of the video, and then it dropped when I went over there, I think, to get the hat, and so it is looking big now. I am here, let's see, that square there, the corner, is the corner that I started on, and we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Are we 9 squares across? 9 across. Yeah, I want to get it to 10 squares across. How are we 9 squares across? Let me check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I want it to go 10 squares across, and then however many I fill upwards. And I'm still going at the top here. This is my most recent addition. The top, and did I do the side? think I did the side. Oh, I can't remember. I pick it up when I feel in the mood to do some plain straightforward knitting in front of the TV. There it is, that's the side I did. I've just did this side. You can see the green that I used in the hat. It's quite chunky. It comes up bigger than these squares, so it must be chunky yarn rather than double knit. But yeah, I've put it in anyway, and that's where we are. So I've done that extra row here. I need to do some weaving in of ends because I've got all of these scraggly bits of yarn just hanging off, and I know it's going to drive me potty trying to sit there weaving all those ends in if I just leave it too long. But yeah, that's where I've got with that. So I'm 9 rows across, and I am, I think, 10 up now. This is the 10th one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's the 10th one up. That's the 10th row. So I want 10 columns and however many rows, and that's where I am with that. You've seen this before if you watch my podcast. It's the Memory Blanket by Georgie Nicholson, and I'm just using double knit yarns for that one in solid colours. I'm trying not to use any variegated or gradient or tonal colours. I'm just trying to use solid colours for that. So it's taking a little bit longer because I'm using what I have. So next up is the long line cardigan by Joji Locatelli. I hope I said that correctly. Joji Locatelli, and it was hibernating for a little while because I was trying to finish up my Christmas knits. So this is the pattern, long line cardigan by Joji Locatelli. You're probably familiar with her. She's quite popular on Ravelry pattern wise, and that's what my cardigan is going to look like. I decided to do my cardigan in this beautiful blue. Oops, I've got bits of, look, I've got yarn, what do you call it, yarn bath everywhere. I don't know where that's coming from. Let's see. So the yarn is this beautiful tonal, I would say. It's got purple in it, hopefully you can see there. I can see purple, I can see navy blue, I can see royal blue, I can see very dark, nearly black colours in there, but I don't think there's black. It is such a beautiful colour. This is by Woolly Mama Yarns. That's her card, and the colour is Midnight, and it's 4-ply fingering, superwash merino, nylon, 75/25. Those are the stats, and I absolutely love it. I love Woolly Mama Yarns' yarns. She's got very, very pretty yarns. That I did notice with this colourway, and I've not had this problem with any other colourway, that the yarn, I think it probably wasn't washed out enough, because while I was knitting up the first part of my cardigan, sorry, I've just got a knot in this yarn now. While I was knitting up the first part of my cardigan, my fingers were just blue with the first skein of yarn, and so it was quite funny. We were having a bit of a giggle, my daughter and I, over the fact that I had blue fingers while I was knitting this first section. I'm sorry, my yarn has got a bit tangled. I don't know what's going on here. I'll deal with that later. So that's that. So I've got 3 balls of this, hanks, skeins, whatever you want to call them. I had 3 lots of it, and I am on my second lot, and this is how far I've got. So I've divided for the sleeve. This is the collar. So I've done the collar. Let me show you from this way. I'm going to show you from the back. So that's the collar. It folds over like that, and then you got the armholes here, and that's the back. This is the left front, and that is the right front. So that's what it looks like. At the moment it looks very small, but it's stretchy. So that's it. and it's on the needles. So hopefully if I turn it that way, you can see the actual colours in that. Can you see the purples, the different colours in that yarn? And I've done, I did do alternate skeins when I changed over, because I'm on the second skein of yarn. I did alternate skeins. I'm not sure if it's really necessary, to be fair, because the pattern, the yarn is very tonal, is that the word? And it just, you can't notice it anyway. Well, I don't notice it. But yeah, I've got a few more inches to do here before I start doing some shaping according to the pattern. So what I have noticed is, because I'm working the collar and the collar is ribbed, and because the fabric is so dark, I can only work this when it's bright, when I'm in daylight. It's very difficult to work with this at night time because I can't see the ribbing very well. And what's been happening, where I've been knitting the rib, I've put it down and I'll come back to it the next day, say, and then I'll look at it and go, uh-oh, my rib has gone the wrong way. So I've done knit instead of a purl, and I can see where I've gone wrong in natural light, or my light that I've got up there. But if I'm working at night, I can't see, and I make a mistake. I've made a couple of times I've made a mistake with the ribbon and I've gone the wrong way. I've done the wrong stitch at the wrong time. See, that's the rib section. It goes rib and then it goes stocking stitch there. So yeah, so anyway, that's where I am with that. I think it's coming along nicely. I'm trying to work a bit more of the body so I can actually see it better, because I've only done that much really, and I'm trying to get a bit more work in on that before I have to go back into work. And so this one is moving along nicely. Pretty pleased with that. What else do I have to show you? Let's see. The next thing I have been working on, I only have 2-3 whips, and that's the blanket, the cardigan, and then my shawl. This is the Bark Lines shawl by Hoki Locatelli. I seem to have a thing for Hoki Locatelli. That's it there. Bark Lines. I've already made one of these, which I showed you in my last episode, and that was in the brown colourway, and I made that and gifted it to somebody else, and I liked it so much I decided to make one for myself. And so I am now currently working on my one, and the yarn I'm using is Biff Sugar Yarns Superwash Merino. Nope, it's not Biff Sugar Yarns. Don't know why that's on there. Rhapsody Yarns Merino Fingering, and this is in the colour Gathering Storm. This is what it looks like in a ball. It's blue with a bit of green, a bit of royal blue, a bit of baby blue, light blue. It's just dotted everywhere, and it's really, really pretty. And this is the last ball I have left, and I've got to the point now. I've got this far. I think I'm ready to do the border. I think maybe I've got one row left. I have to check my stitch count, but I've got to here. Sorry, let me take that out. I am here. That's how big it is. It's coming along nicely. That is the colour. I mean, look at the colours. Oh wow, I love this. Blue is my favourite colour. So to have this, and my coat is blue, so I thought it would be nice to have this. And I'm thinking if I can get another skein of this, I can do a hat to go with it, maybe a Harlow hat to go with it. And yeah, that's it here. That is what it's looking like. Nearly there, nearly there. I just have to I think I've got a section of the rib to go here, and then I can move on to the border. But I don't think I'm going to have enough yarn left to do all of the border, so I think I'm going to need to order another one, like I said, and then whatever's left over from the third one, then I can use it to make a hat for myself to match the shawl. So we shall see. I don't think I've really had any difficulties with this because I've done it before. I don't see at the moment any dropped stitches, unlike in my last one where I dropped a stitch, and then on the brown one I dropped a stitch around about here, and then I realised it when I'd done the border, when I'd finished, and then I had to go back and correct it, but I couldn't. It was too late to rip everything out, so I found a video online and I corrected the drop stitch. I just wove it in, and hopefully it won't come undone. It's been gifted already, but it was tightly woven in, so it shouldn't show. Didn't show, and hopefully it's fine. But yeah, I don't see any mistakes at the moment. I have managed to, I did forget to do an increase in one stitch at one point, and so one side had more stitches than the other one, so I've just increased the stitch later on when I've realised it, and I'm back to the original, the correct stitch count, ready to do the next section. So yeah, I really like it. It's very squishy. It is such a nice, I don't know, it's got a really nice soft feel to it, but it's lightweight as well. This is what it looks like at the moment. I can't wait to get it off the needles and start wearing it. Oh, now because it's winter, up until like what, April, springtime-ish, then I won't need to wear it so much. Not to kind of keep warm, but just for fashion, I suppose, then, just because I want to wear it. But yeah, it can open, you know, I don't know, I'm excited to get this off the needles and wear it, so I'm pretty pleased with that. Actually, I remember watching a video by Penhook and Needles where they were talking about the fact that I used the word chuffed, and I keep saying I'm pretty chuffed with that. And chuffed is basically pleased. I think it's quite an old term used in the UK. People say they're pretty chuffed. Nowadays there's lots of other words that people use to express their excitement and their happiness, but I'm still using the old language. I'm still using chuffed. I love it. It's child friendly, and it's nice. It's just an old way of saying I'm really pleased with that. I'm very happy with it. I'm chuffed with that. I'm not sure where it originates from. I'd have to get my dictionary out or Google that. But yeah, it just means I'm pleased. So yeah, that's that. That is my last whip. No, tell a lie. I'm lying. That is not my last whip. I have a cross stitch project that I am working on. The reason I said it was my last whip is because that's the only one I can put on Ravelry. Ravelry doesn't actually accept cross stitch at the moment, so that I have a cross stitch pattern. So I've been working on my festive card kit. I think I showed you this last time, and what I've been doing as a beginner, I've been colouring off the bits that I've finished in green, so I can actually focus on which bits I do need to fill in, and I've done it now. I've done it. I did run out of white. Why is it with these little kits I always run out of a particular colour? It's quite annoying. So I've got here, I've done the dog, I got down to, I think I did this part, and then I ran out of white, so I had to do this part with whatever I had left over. So it's not exactly as per the pattern, but it'll do. I've started to do some back stitching here, as you can see, and I did the eyes. I'm not sure I did the eyes right, but I started to do a little bit of back stitching here, and then I decided I wanted to go out and do a bit of shopping in the sales, so I've left it, and I think I'd like to wait until it's a bit brighter, because I was doing this under natural light, and I have to have either my big light up there, my ring light, or natural, very good natural light to sit and work on this. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to the back stitch. It kind of takes a lot of thought for me, a lot more thought than just doing the crosses, so I have to be in the right frame of mind. So I'm putting this on hold for the time being. That's what it looks like, and I know we've just gone past Christmas and I'm a bit late now, but I still wanted to finish it up because it's a cross stitch project that I've been working on for a while, and you know, I wanted to finish it. So I'm getting some gratification out of finishing it. So yeah, so that's my little puppy. That's just the yarn I'm going to use to, not the yarn, the floss. I keep getting my terms mixed up. This is the floss that I'm going to use to do the rest of the back stitch. So I've kept it up there so I don't lose it. Because like I said before, a lot of the colours look very much the same. So I don't want to mess them up. So that is that. That's my cross stitch puppy. And hopefully I'll have that finished at some Christmas puppy even. Hopefully next update, next video, I will have that completely done with all the back stitches in place, and it will be sitting in the card waiting for next year probably. But that'll be done hopefully next time. So there you are. I just wanted to finish something, but let's see, I'm also working on another cross stitch project, and this is, it will move us into acquisitions actually. So this is the incoming section. So now we've moved on to incoming. I'm going to show you first off the cross stitch pattern that I bought. I bought this on, where did I buy it? Can't remember. Bought it online, and it's Bebunni. I wanted to do a simple cross stitch pattern that was not a sample size from a magazine because I keep running out of thread, and I figured that with the, if I get the kit, it should have enough in there for me to actually finish it up using the correct colours and stuff. And I thought this would be easy enough for me to work on as a beginner, and my daughter would love it as well if it was something that I could hang in her room. So yeah, I was trying to have that in mind, something that I could do with it after I've, you know, done the cross stitching, also something that I can get some practice on. So I bought this as a kit. I think it was about £25, I'm not sure, and it comes with, what does it come with? Let's see. It comes with the actual, I was going to say canvas, the Ada. It's 14 count Ada. That's how far I've got with it at the moment. So I'm just kind of, is that the right way? Yeah, that's up. I'm just kind of at the head section still. I started here, and so I'm in that area, not quite there. So yeah, I bought the frame, the plastic frame, which is called a, what is it, universal plastic snap frame. Bought that online. I can't remember where, if I bought it from Hobbycraft, maybe, I can't remember. That's the snap frame, and the actual kit, this was bought separately. The kit is this, comes with the Ada with the needles of course, and then it has pattern, it has the symbols, it has a nice kind of explanation sheet telling you about the symbols and how to cross stitch, which is useful. Then it comes with the threads there, comes with the needles, the little beads, and a chart. It comes with a back stitch chart and a separate chart for the just for the actual cross stitch, which I thought was quite handy. And I don't want to show you that because I'm not going to show you too much of this for obvious reasons. But that's where I am with that. I've just literally just started it, and then I thought, you know what, because I was itching to get started on it when it came in the post, but then I thought I really should try and finish some stuff up before I start on new stuff. So I went back to the Christmas puppy. So I've done a little bit of this, and I'm thinking now perhaps I should try and do the butterfly, do one butterfly, just to make myself feel like I've done something. But the problem I'm having is that I have to do a lot of counting up to the butterfly, so I have to count to the correct spot to get the butterfly on. So I'm kind of debating how I'm going to do that. Do I mark on the Ada with a pencil where that starts, because I think that might actually be useful. Yeah, so that's on hold at the moment while I try to finish the Christmas puppy, but that's how far I've got with that. So that's my cross stitch project that I will be working on probably for the next few months, because it takes me forever. So that's those. The next thing I've got, and I'm going to share this with you. Where's the actual little pouch? Just a second. I got this for Christmas from my daughter, and it is by these people, and I told her that for Christmas I'd like some new stitch markers, so she got me these cute little angels on a big safety pin, and that's what they look like. So I was really pleased with these. I think she chose well, so she's excited to see these. Let me do that. She's excited to see these being used in my knitting. I've used them once or twice, but I tried to use the smaller one because I was doing a smaller project and didn't want it getting caught. But yeah, so I got that for Christmas from my daughter, so I'm really pleased with those. It's always nice to get some new stitch markers. I also got, get this is one that really surprised me. My own personalised little project bag. Now I can use this as a makeup bag if I feel like it, or because you guys know that I have a makeup channel as well. I'm into makeup, and I can either use it as a makeup bag or as a project bag. And at the moment, because it says Ellie Ness, it could be my Ellie Ness makeup channel or my Ellie Ness crafts, so I can use it for either. And I was really pleased with this. I think it's really cute. This is from my son, so he bought this for me for Christmas, and so I can put my projects in that. I'm thinking that this will work nicely with a sock project, because one skein at one ball of yarn fits lovely in there. So yeah, so that will be for my next sock project, which I haven't started on, but I may start that alongside the Ready Set Go project. So that'll be my new project for this year, for January. So what haven't I shown you? Next thing incoming, let's see. I've been buying yarns, as I said to you, because I was making hats and stuff. So I showed you this one earlier, which is a B&M yarn, which was £2.99. It's like a, what kind of shop is it like? I don't know how to describe it, but it's like a budget store basically, and they do lots of different types of yarn in there, but you won't often find the same thing that you found, say, a month. If I went in there today, I wouldn't find the same thing next month, so I have to pick up a few balls of it, knowing, or with the idea that I'm not likely to find the same thing again the next time I go in there. So I thought these were good for hats because they've got a little bit of shimmer, sparkle in them, and they'd be good for girls. So I made one of these for Christmas, and then the other one was the green one I showed you earlier. So I'm really pleased with that. That was a new purchase. I picked up a couple of balls of Bergère de France yarn. This one, which is a double knit yarn. I think it's double knit, yeah, DK. I picked up two of these because I was going to make a hat for my best friend's dad, and I haven't got around to doing it yet. I've skeined one, balled one up and left the other one like this. I haven't quite got around to knitting it yet because I wanted to have a break from hats, but this is intended for a hat for him. Not sure what pattern to use either for him, but just something nice and cozy. What's the colourway? Vitrine, that's the colourway of this yarn. Hopefully you can see that there. There we go. And it's like a tonal grey. It's not a flat grey, it's kind of tonal. So that's why I liked it, because I thought I could make a hat out of it. I could probably make some gloves, I could make mittens, I could possibly even make socks if I wanted to. But yeah, it will look nice. It will look really nice. Then I picked up, I have some hand-dyed yarn. I have some hand-dyed yarn, people. So, first one is a repeat. This is from Somerset Yarns, and it's the Gobstopper yarn. I liked it so much, and I made a pair of socks for my daughter, and I made a pair of socks for my goddaughter, and gave them to them for Christmas, and I liked it so much. I wanted it again. Can't speak. I wanted it again, so I picked up another one for me. So that's the Somerset Yarns hand-dyed yarn in the colourway Gobstopper, which is a superwash merino nylon base, 75/25. No, it's merino nylon stellina. Forget that because of the sparkle. It's got sparkle in it. Yeah, you go. You can see the sparkle. So yeah, so that's that. I'm really pleased. I know what this was like last time, so I'm not going to be surprised at how beautiful it looks. I love it. It's really nice and soft, and I can't wait to make something for myself out of this. Maybe this will be my sock project for New Year. We shall see. I also picked up this yarn, Pixie yarn. Let's just take that out. It's hand-dyed yarn. Oops. It's in the colour Yule Boots. That's Y-U-L-E Boots, burgundy. And it's by Pixie Yarn on Etsy. And look at that. It's just a lovely, beautiful burgundy colour. And she had it paired, this colour as a mini skein paired with another colour. And I saw the mini skein and I was more impressed with the colour of the mini skein for myself than the main colour. So I asked her if she could actually dye up the mini skein as a 100-gram skein of yarn by itself, and she said she could, so I bought that, and I'm hoping to make a pair of socks out of this, possibly for my husband, maybe one for my husband, one for me. Well, maybe won't get 2 lots out of it, but see how this goes, and maybe if I like it a lot, then I'll make another pair, order some more. But I really like the yarn. It's a beautiful burgundy colour. I couldn't find this anywhere else, which was really strange. I was looking all over Etsy for a burgundy colour, and I don't tend to buy from US makers purely because I just can't afford, I can't stomach the customs charges and the postage. To be honest, I can't really afford to pay those postage charges for the yarn. So I tend to try and stick to UK dyers, because there's enough of them that I could find a colour that I want, and I was finding it really difficult to just find a burgundy colour like this, a nice deep solid colour that won't stand out when I'm wearing trousers. So yeah, so I saw this and it was a mini skein, and I thought, right, you know what, I'm just going to ask her. The worst she can do is say no, she won't do it. She doesn't do it in a larger skein, but she said yes, so I'm really pleased. I'm really happy that I've got it. So that is the next skein that I have in my stash. I've got a few hand-dyed yarns now in my stash that I need to start thinking about what to do with them. But this is definitely for socks. That's the plan. This is definitely for socks. And so I do have those in mind. I just haven't started them yet because I want to get a bit further on these other projects. So yeah, that is it. That's all I have to share with you today. Thank you so much for joining me. Do remember to go over to the Ravelry group, Elines Crafts Ravelry group, and check out the make-alongs that I have going on over there. And don't forget also to check out Penhook and Needles channel and podcast and Ravelry groups. They have a few more things going on in their group. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have enjoyed your Christmas and New Year celebrations if you celebrate them, and hopefully I will see you in about a month's time. I try not to well, I find it difficult to stick to a schedule more regular than monthly, so if I do manage to come back before a month's time, then that'll be a bonus, but I generally try and stick to the monthly schedule. So if you want to know when I've uploaded, then make sure you subscribe and click the notifications bell at the bottom of the screen next to the subscribe button, and that will notify you every time I upload a new episode, so you won't have to keep checking back. But yeah, that is it from me. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.